This video is to show you a Service Canada website that estimates your retirement income. It's a very comprehensive site, which is why I want to show it to you. So you put in the words in a Google search, retirement income calculator, Canada, and you get this Canadian Retirement Income Calculator. So here's the website. It talks to you about what you can do and what you need to begin. And here it says you may wish to have access to your Canada Pension Plan Statement of Contributions. That's a website that you can sign into, and I've already signed into mine, and it looks like this, my Service Canada account, and the estimated monthly CPP benefits. And so it says here, let me reduce the size of that page for you, that if I were to retire today, if I were 65 today, then I would have $917.98. So 918. That's the number we want to get. If you can't, if you don't have your Canada Pension Plan statement, but if you've been donating for the full period, it's likely you'll have an amount, a benefit amount of around $900 to $1,000. So the maximum is slightly higher than that. So that's a number you need. So let's continue now. Now it's going to ask a number of questions. It asks the date of birth, and I've inserted my date of birth. And it asks the gender, male. It says, what's your current annual income? So let's put in a number just to show you how this works. We'll put in 50,000. And it says here, the majority of recent Canadian retirees with an income of 50,000 at age 63 received an annual retirement income of between 32 and 52,000 at age 70. So it asks, what would you like to set as your annual retirement goal? And it's suggesting 42,000. You'll notice its suggestion falls midway between these numbers. But you can change that if you want. But we'll just stick with their proposed number. And it says, based on your current age and gender, your life expectancy is age 86. Would you like us to use 86 as your estimate? You can say yes, or you can say no and insert another age. So we'll just say yes. And now it's going to ask some detailed questions. It's going to say, did you contribute to the Canada Pension Plan? And we'll say yes, as opposed to the Quebec plan. And it's going to ask if you have your statement of contributions. That's what I showed you earlier. The year of your statement, it wants to know the update, whether or not it needs to update your statement. And estimated the amount of income, remember we had a number that we got, and it was around 918. We put in 920. So here on the right hand side you'll see our retirement period, 65 to 86, and it suggests that the Canada Pension Plan is going to meet this level. Our goal is that level. At what age do you plan to receive your Canada Pension Plan benefit? Well, suppose you want to receive it at 65, that's what you get. But if you delay it by, say, 2 years, you get substantially more. And you'll see this number goes up because they give you an enhancement. Do you plan on working after you start receiving your Canada Pension Plan? I'm going to say yes to that. May not be a lot of work, but until what age will you receive employment income? Well, let's say I want to work between 67 and 70 doing the occasional job. And would you like to contribute to Canada Pension Plan post-retirement benefit when you reach the age of 65? I'm going to say yes. So between 65 and 67, I'm going to contribute. On during this period, what will your annual employment earnings be from age 67 to 70? So I'm going to just say a small amount of earnings. We'll say $5,000. And you'll notice that they've now added these numbers in to our retirement income, because we're not collecting Canada Pension until 67, and we have this additional income, and we move on. And now it's going to ask, are you a member of an employer pension plan? Well, we'll say yes to that, and suppose we know what type of pension it is, if it's a defined benefit plan, and we'll say our estimated annual pension from our defined plan is $5,000. And you'll notice it's now added the $5,000 starting at the age of 65. And is your pension indexed to inflation? We'll say no, and we'll see what happens to that. And you'll notice how it shrinks here. So it uses a 2.2%. If you have another plan, it gives you the option of adding another plan. So now it's going to say, do you have a RRSP? Again, we'll say yes to that. And let's say the amount of money in our RRSP is $100,000. And I'm just pulling these numbers out in the air. And do we plan to contribute to the RRSP from now until retirement? We'll say yes, and we'll contribute annually an amount of, say, $5,000. At what age do you plan to start receiving an annual income from your RRSP? It'll probably be much later. We'll say 71. And you'll see here that 71 is where they place the RRSP. What rate do you believe you can earn on your investments? We'll put it at 5%. That's what they're suggesting. Do you have any other savings you plan on using? We'll say yes to that. And we'll say that we have $50,000 in savings. And how much do you plan to contribute to your other savings? We'll say annually we're going to contribute another $2,500. At what age do we want to start receiving our savings? Well, this would be starting at age 71. At what age do you plan to stop receiving? We'll go all the way to the age 86, which is, and we'll see how that affects the charts. It says, combined, your total retirement savings from past and future contributions are estimated to be $239,000. This would provide an annual income of $167,000 in retirement, expressed in today's dollars. See assumptions, and we can review those assumptions. So we're moving on to the next one. It says, do you have any other income? We'll say yes to that, and we'll say we have some rental property. And let's suppose we have monthly rent, the surplus, the income portion is, and we'll just throw in $1,000. And that would be the net surplus from the rent, the profit. And what age do we estimate we'll receive it? Age 63, and it goes until our death. So now we don't like this bubble here because we're not going to take all the retirement savings in that year, so let's go back and correct that. And and we're going to say we'll start receiving the RRSP at 71, but we'll stop at age 86. And notice how that has now dropped. So now we've got the Canada Pension Plan, we've got the employer's pension plan, we have our earnings, and then we have the RRSP here. And they give the colors here for each of those. So now we're going to move back to, we finish this page. And now they ask about old age security, and do you expect to be living in Canada when you reach 65? Yes. And have you lived in Canada for at least 40 years? And we'll say yes to that. And you'll see they've now added old age security to the income. And as we go along, we'll see that it provides a rough estimate, and it suggests this is what you're going to receive, and it gives you the chart, and you can push it out. And of course you can go back and change any one of those variables and come up with your estimated retirement income based on your customized criteria. So you can print the report, and what I do is I save it as a PDF so that I can make changes and potentially adjust it as necessary. So that's the end of this video. I hope you use this tool. It's very comprehensive. It's the kind of information you'd get if you go to a financial consultant. That's the end of this video.